Is Ma'am Obispo there already?
Yes, ma'am. May Chino, will I be the one to present o yung
Yes,
video?
ma'am.
Okay. Disabled po ang screen sharing.
Okay na, ma'am. Naka-ano na po.
Ito ay submitted already. Kala tayo umaga. Heavenly Father, we glorify and praise your holy name. We are always beyond grateful for your endless love for us. Almighty God, we cannot hide our hearts from you. Help us to let go of our bitterness and fear. Forgive us for our shortcomings. Help us amend our impieties. Our strength, wisdom, and all we have accomplished, we owe them everything to you. Bless our family and friends who ask for your grace. Strengthen our bodies and minds as we struggle amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. We pray that you would comfort the sick and heal them completely. Help us to support and take care of each other as we should during this time of sickness. God, help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us your grace that we may effectively do our part as public servants. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Father, make us realize that without you, we are nothing. We pray that the objectives that have been set for this event may all be achieved. Your abundant blessings would mean the success of this event. All this we ask in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Ma'am Obispo. Ladies and gentlemen, the Philippine National Anthem, the MPC hymn, and the ASEAN hymn. Ma'am Ichigo, sino po mag... Ah. May audio, ma'am.
Nakinabukasan aking makakamtan, hindi manis sa banta ng kahirapan, ako na inihanda ng mahal kong paaralan. Politeknikong Kolehiyo ng Marikina, ang teknikal na edukasyon, inintal mo sila. Politeknikong Kolehiyo ng Marikina, talino ko'y binabanay, puso ko'y pag-asa. Isip ang kasalanan, ikaw ang katuwa. Sa pagkamit ng ngiti, siya mo mahari. Kahit saan mamamatpat ay hindi mamamagat. Kung ngayon ika'y ang magsisilbing kamay, Politeknikong Kolehiyo ng Marikina, ang teknikal na edukasyon, inintal mo sila.
Kalisto, yung bunso ko nakakawa naman. Yung mga tuyo. Eh, gusto ko
Thank you, Ma'am Michilu, for sharing the audio and the video. We now come to the next part of the program. Dr. Lisa Grace Versales, the Chair, Search Committee for Presidency, will now give the opening remarks and the intro of the
Carry a DHA level and Emma GM Pro to help raise a healthy, smart kid with a heart. Powered with IQ and
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Caballero. Good morning, everyone. We
Good morning.
Good morning po, Dr. Mileska. We are so pleased, and I speak on behalf of the Search Committee for the Presidency of Marikina Polytechnic College, that we are having this second public forum in the process of the search. As everyone knows, We have been waiting for this to happen, and we are very pleased that we are starting October in a on a high note, in a way, for MPC with this public forum. May I introduce the members of the search committee? Uh, May I request everyone to please mute their devices? Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce the members of the search committee for the presidency of MPC. We have Dr. Virginia Akyate, the regional director of CHED NCR, Dr. Virgie. We also so she's representing CHED. We also have with us Dr. Tirso Ronquillo, the president of the Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges. And Dr. Ronquillo is, of course, representing the association, PASUC. We have also the representative of the academia in the search, Dr. Francisco Cos, Sir Jojo, who is, of course, a faculty of MPC. And our other member is the representative of the private sector to the search, Dr. Attorney Franklin Suma. Our secretariat are Ms. Lou Fabiar of MPC, and from the office of the chair of the Board of Trustees of MPC, Chair Commissioner Lilian de las Llagas, we have Ms. Blaise Regacho and Ms. Marilyn de la Cruz. Friends, this is our privilege to hear from another possible president of MPC, and I welcome everyone. Please actively participate by writing on our chat box any question you have, but we also have with us the various sectoral representatives of various stakeholders of MPC who shall be asking the first round of questions. So thank you very much, and looking forward to your participation, whether actively or listening, so you know what's going on. And our goal is that we are able to endorse to the Board of Trustees the or report to the Board of Trustees the result of the search, and the Board of Trustees, we expect will choose the appropriate president for MPC soon. Thank you so much, and good morning to everyone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bersales. It's nice to see you again without the mask.
Yes, same here.
Time we saw each other, we have our masks.
Thank you, Mom.
Okay, so to continue, let us be guided by the mechanics of the public forum, which I will be reading now. Okay, so we will begin with the first. Actually, I revised this for the only for one participant. Okay, because my copy is good for the set of the participants. Okay, the applicant shall be given 10 minutes to make his presentation. PowerPoint may be allowed. A timer shall be used to help the applicant manage their time. May I ask, Ma'am Michilu, sino po ang timer natin ngayon?
Professor Nelson Argiles, ma'am.
Sir Nelson. Sir Nelson, kaway ka po muna. Saan na Sir Nelson? Sir Nelson po ang ating timer. So, si Dr. Milieska po should know Sir Nelson kasi siya po magbibigay ng signal for the time.
Good morning po, Ma'am Dan. Good morning po.
Hi, Sir Nelson. Ayan. A green sign will signify the start of the individual's presentation. The yellow sign, pina-flash po ba ni Sir? The yellow sign will mean the applicant has 2 minutes left, and a red sign will mean that the time is up. May red ka, Sir, dyan? Okay, red sign is time is up.
Ang galing.
The applicant is requested to keep to his time limit. Otherwise, he will be asked to stop the presentation. An open forum shall follow after the presentation of the applicant. A 15-minute recess following the presentation shall be allotted to enable the SCP to review and screen the questions. Ma'am Michilo, 15 minutes pa rin po ang parang recess.
10 minutes, ma'am.
10 minutes lang po. Okay. So, magkakaroon po tayo ng 10-minute recess later para po ma-screen yung mga questions. Questions shall limit to the applicant's visions, papers, and issues and concerns. Questions of a personal nature shall not be entertained. To serve the dignity of the applicant and of the search process. The nominee shall be given 2 minutes to answer the question. A timer will be again used to alert the applicant regarding the lapse of their allotted time. A green sign will alert the applicant to start answering the question. These are questions from the sectoral representatives. A yellow sign will mean the applicant has 30 seconds left, and a red sign will mean the time is up. Applicants are requested to keep to his time. The first questions from each of the sectors will be answered by the applicant. The sector representative shall read out the questions. For the succeeding rounds of question and answer, the moderator, myself, shall read the question and the applicant shall answer it. So, magbibigay po ng question sa akin later sila Ma'am Michelu. And then I will read it out para masagot ng ating applicant. During the interview with the nominees. And the second part of the search is the interview of applicants by the SCP. It will happen today, Ma'am Michilu, the interview. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the interview aims to provide the SCP additional information on the applicants, their personal traits, their grasp and ability to respond to different situations, their acceptability and rapport with the constituencies. The interview shall follow after the public forum after a reasonable amount of time for the rest of the applicants and the SCP members. Ma'am Michilo, saan po tayo kukuha ng online question? Kasi meron po tayong YouTube and then meron po tayong Zoom. Pareho po ba?
Pareho po, ma'am. YouTube and Zoom.
Okay, so for our audience, you may post your questions in our YouTube and in the Zoom meeting. Okay. So now, next will be the introduction of the sectoral representatives. Andiyan na po ba ang ating sectoral representatives? We have seven sectoral representatives. Please turn on your camera when I call your name. And for the audience, please let us give them a virtual clap. Hindi natin sila mapalakpakan ng naririnig ng lahat. So virtual clap na lang. Okay, our first representative is from the LGU. So the representative of City Mayor Marcelino Chodoro. Sino po ang ating representative from the LGU? Last time, the assistant administrator. Okay, so mamaya po siguro sa question and answer makikita natin. And then, the chair of the Education Committee, Councilor Don Fabis. And the private sector representative is Mr. Jose B. Tayawa. Next is the administrative staff representative, Ms. Maria Rosario C. Somera. Nakita ko na si Ma'am Somera kanina. And then the Faculty Association representative, Ms. Lilibeth Austria. And then we have Alumni Association representative, Mr. Fernando E. Estacio. And last but not the least, actually most important, the student representative, Ms. Rachel Ann Magdao. Diyan na ba si Ms. Rachel Ann? Okay. So since we already have the sectoral representative, may I introduce to you our next applicant, the campus dean of the Partido State University, Dr. Arnel B. Miliesca. Good morning, sir.
Morning, ma'am.
Virtual clap for sir.
Thank you very much po.
Sir, the floor is yours for your presentation.
Thank you very much, ma'am, to the governing board of the Marikina Polytechnic College, headed by or under the tutelage of the Honorable Said Commissioner Lilian de las Llagas, members of the search committee of the search for presidency of Marikina Polytechnic College, headed by Honorable Lisa Grace Bersales, to the MPC family, headed by Attorney Frida Lili Milia, the OIC President of MPC, the Honorable Congresswoman Stella Luz Albastro Kimbo and her party, the local government unit headed by Honorable Mayor Marcelino Teodoro and party, members of the Lupo ng mga barangay, people from the SU and the aircraft industry of Marikina, students, parents, alumni, spectators, and most especially to the CHED Regional Director, Dr. Arquiate, and PASUC President, Dr. Ronquillo, Diyos Marhay na aga po sa Indugabos, in Bicol, good morning po. May I share my presentation?
Yes po.
Is it okay na, Mami Chilu? So, is it okay na po? Okay, so thank you very much. So, I will be presenting to you my roadmap to a transformative organization for Marikina Polytechnic College. So, for my vision for Marikina Polytechnic College, it will become the leading higher education institution in technical teacher education, technology, sciences, business management, and Asia's SU and leadercraft frontliner in 2025. In order for me to achieve this, I have to make my mission, and my mission for MPC shall provide sustainable and reasonably high standard and responsive instruction in the arts, technology, engineering, sciences, business, tourism and hospitality management, and other relevant innovative curricula, develop a globally competitive research and innovations, community-based extension and production services for the socio-economic upliftment of the Mariqueño and the metropolis, and shall provide leadership in these areas. My core values for Marikina, M stands for moving forward for a better MPC, P, passion for serving people to achieve excellence, and C, collaboration in shared purpose for transparency and good governance. My presentation is composed of 9 key result areas, and summing up the KRA 1 to 8 is KRA 9. For KRA 1, I have the curriculum and instruction, which is a reasonably high standard, quality, responsive, and innovative curricula. In order for me to achieve this, I have to develop some strategies or strategies for implementation, in which is one of which is offer additional undergraduate and graduate programs to increase the weighted full-time equivalent and address the mandate of the institution under RA 9289 as the Asia's shoe and leathercraft industry by offering a ladderized Bachelor of Science in Footwear Development, BSFD, or a TESDA program on footwear making NC2. Offer also another innovative and short-term programs. Comply with the recommendations of the ARQUAT evaluators to ensure that all programs have certificate of program compliance. Conduct an online enhancement class for board programs to increase its institutional passing percentage against the national passing rate. For KRA2, effective faculty personnel development, create additional Pantilla positions for non-teaching personnel through scrap and build in adopting the omnibus rules on appointment or ora-ora scheme. Establish a policy on institutional promotion of qualified faculty in response to the temporary non-implementation of NBC 461, and hire additional faculty on lateral entry to address the faculty requirement in the offering of the BSFD and mismatch of graduates. Send more faculty scholars, at least 30% of the total number faculty plantilla position is vertically aligned within the country or abroad to finish their graduate courses. Send faculty and non-teaching personnel to training with a partner industry involved in the making and show making and leather craft and preparation for the offering of PSFD and footwear making NC2. Implement the 18-4 full-time equivalent workload of faculty and provide overload payment using DBM guidelines. For KRA3, Holistic and Visible Student Development Program, conduct a virtual election for student trustee, collaborate with the Alumni Association on tracing up the employment status and current position of the alumni for the possible financial assistance to poor but deserving students, provide financial incentives to board placers in the region or in national level, send more students to participate in national or international research fora, academic and non-academic competition. Improve the performance of the students in national competency assessment through active partnership with TESDA, especially on the use of equipment for their actual hands-on training. Develop a one-stop shop transaction, and then digitization of library, automation of all front-end services, including application and issuance of students' ID, clearances, TOR certificates, etc. KRA4, Research Development and Innovation, conduct capability training on research and project proposal packaging for external funding, such as IDIG, Study PH, HEDF, and other funding institutions. Incentivize the faculty researchers who demonstrated an exemplary performance in research, such as publication in Scopus ISI Index, international referred journal, or in a TED accredited journal, or winning a national international research fora as best paper in the Tinta Award and Bayanihan Award for faculty research and extension implementers who won in the institutional in-house review. Implement a 3-unit deloading of faculty with approved research proposal. Establish a research center in laboratories for technical teacher education, technology in the Center for Shoe and Leathercraft Industry. Provide Presidential Citation Award to those faculty researchers who demonstrated exemplary performance in research through publication, citation, generation of externally funded research, best paper presenter, and the like. For KRA5, active, sustained, and accessible community partnership for social development, establish and develop a strong and visible linkage with the LGU, NGOs, and other organizations as part and parcel of the MPC's progress and development through a memorandum of agreement. Enhance the Adapt a Barangay program on technology transfer, adapters and product demonstration, and bring the best practices of MPC on technical advice closer to the people. Capacitate the community of Marikina through the conduct of livelihood training, all for the 16 barangays of the city. For KRA6, Global Recognition Excellence, submit MPC for ISO 9001-2015 certification audit, reactivate the website of PMPC, submit MPC for QS Star, establish the Office of International Affairs to address the institution's international programs, projects, and activities, establish collaboration through benchmarking with other national and foreign academic and non-academic institutions by sending faculty and students to present papers in international research presentation, participate in academic and non-academic competition, and attend trainings, webinars, and conferences. For KRA7, well-developed quality assurance mechanism, establish a quality assurance center for ISA, ARQUAT, ISO, AACO, National Competency Assessment, NC2, 3, and 4. Establish the assessment center for test the programs, ensure that all programs are COPC compliant, conduct orientation and trainings on ISO, SOC leveling, PBB, new guidelines and accreditation, ISA, and ARQUAT. For KRA8, Green Campus, maaliwalas na kapaligiran. Develop an atmosphere of people who will work as a team, Because when we speak of team, it is together everyone achieves more by being transparent and accountable officer of the institution. Develop a positive atmosphere and camaraderie with the employees by instilling in them that I am their servant leader. Prepare the program of receipts and expenditures for 2023 under the physical plant and facilities, the housing of the CHED donated desktops for a centralized ICTMO and MIS centers. Install a 10 kilowatt solar power fabricated by the students and faculty if available. Install a water harvesting under the Water Management Office. Enforce the full implementation of the 5 R's in waste management: reuse, recycle, reduce, recover, and refuse. Total ban on the use of any form of plastics in the campus, and establish an environment-friendly campus. Summing up these 8 KRAs is KRA 9, which is the Transformative Administration for Good Governance and Transparency. Prepare a 5-year comprehensive development plan or implement the existing strategic plan, if any, and provide additional activities if necessary to address the concerns and issues of MPC on SUC leveling, COPC, ISO, QA, etc. Establish the Center of Development for SU and the aircraft industry through community-based training in partnership with the LGU, DTI, TESDA, SU industry, and other private stakeholders involved in SU and aircraft industry. Submit proposals for IDIG and study PH funding. Establish a pool of experts as ISO, ISA, and NC3, NC4 assessors. Revisit the Citizens Charter, if any, and all other manuals. Establish the Entrepreneurial and Business Center for the mature utility models developed by faculty and students, and provide policy on income sharing. Establish additional college with at least 4 degree programs, and implement a submission of online clearance of employees and students. Operationalize the DTI donated shared faculty. Ensure that good governance is implemented through participative governance, transparency and accountability of all the transactions within or without MPC, compliant to the rule of law and other regulatory bodies, among others. Collaborate with the industry to address the issue on mismatch of rates that of the needs of the industry. Sustain the initial implementation of the Smart Campus, allocate funds for Smart Campus 2, Smart Campus 3, and so on and so forth. So with that, members of this August body, I would like to thank Marikina Polytechnic College for giving me the opportunity to present my roadmap for a transformative government for MPC. Thank you very much, po.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arnel B. Milieska, our 4th applicant.
Dr. Milieska.
Dr. Arnel B. Milieska, our 4th applicant for MPC Presidency. And we would like to acknowledge the presence of Attorney Franklin Sunga, the SCP member for the private sector representative.
Ay, magandang
Morning
umaga
sir.
po. Ay, magandang umaga. Hi, hello.
Okay.
Yes,
Hello, sir.
ma'am.
Okay po. Ms. Pichilu, this is the time for the 10-minute break so that the SCP can talk about the questions, the screening of the questions.
Proceed na tayo, ma'am. Proceed na.
Proceed na po. Okay. We will have the LGU representative who will be asking the first question. Again, the
Milieska.
applicant will have 2 minutes to answer these questions. And then he will be followed by he or she. Sino po ang representative ng LGU? Ma'am Rachel.
Hindi po dumating. Bali, ang nandito lang po ngayon si Ma'am Somera from the non-teaching staff and
Okay po.
Ma'am Austria.
So si Ma'am Somera and si Ma'am Austria po. Wala po si Councilor Fabis. Si Mr. Tayawa po wala rin. Si Sir Estacio po. Wala rin. At saka si Miss Magdaong wala rin. So we only have 2. May idadagdag pa po ba tayo para magtanong? Okay na po yung dalawa.
The question is, Kaya ma'am, mag 10-minute break po tayo.
Huwag ka muna umalis.
Ma'am, mahina po yung dating sa akin.
After po ng questions ni Ma'am Sumera and Ma'am Austria, mag 10-minute break po muna tayo, ma'am.
Okay, okay po. Noted po. Okay, thank you, Ms. Michelu, for the clarification. May I call on Ms. Maria Rosario C. Sumera, the Administrative Staff Representative, for her question. Ma'am Sumera, please turn on your camera and your mic.
Narinig na po ako.
Ako. Wala ka pong maalam na, ma'am.
Bakit wala? Naman ang binimportante. Anyway, good morning to all.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Morning po.
Salamat po sa interest mo sa pag-apply dito sa aming eskwela.
Thank you po.
My question, I will give you the question. Even in any organization, there is diversity. Do you think it is a problem or hindrance in our college? And why? What solution can you do or offer to be able to unify people? Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, ma'am, for that question. Actually, in one of the most difficult really is to unify the people in a diverse community, particularly because of the principle of individual differences. But being a leader in that in a certain institution, the leader should always be should set a good example, because we know everyone that a leader is a person who knows the way, goes the way, and setting as a good example. So a leader is one who knows the way, leads the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So she should always be an epitome of a good leadership in his institution. In order for these people to be united, because there is no impossible naman impossible eh. If we are going to work together and being transparent to the issues and concerns of all the people within the community or within the institution, may solve issues on disagreement. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. The next question will be coming from Ms. Lilibet of Austria, the Faculty Association representative.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Arnel Milieska.
Good morning po, ma'am.
I have been listening to your the vision mission that you have been talking about and the KRAs. But my question is related to that. I would like to hear your 10-point agenda for the Marikina Polytechnic College. Among this, which agendum do you think is most pressing and why?
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that question. Actually, all those KRAs that I have presented are all important. But knowing the issues and concerns now that Marikina Polytechnic College is facing is, of course, Marikina Polytechnic College was converted in 2004 from MIST to MPC. So everybody knows that until now that MPC is still under SUC level 1. So the very important thing that we should do is, of course, increase the level of the SUC leveling of MPC, because if we achieve the key result areas under SUC leveling, which is there are 4 key result areas for this, everything will follow. It will follow the ISO certification will follow, the internationalization will follow, the QS Smart will follow, the AACOP accreditation will follow. Everything will follow if we comply with the four criteria or the 4 key result areas under SUC leveling, which is quality and relevance of instruction, research capability and output, services to the community, and the management of resources. Thank you, ma'am. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mayroon pa po bang question yung ibang representatives? Si Ma'am Sumera and Ma'am Austria, if you like, because we don't have the other representatives, baka po meron pang gustong magtanong. Opo. We will be screening the questions from online po kaya mamaya pa po siguro maitatanong yung questions from the online. So Ma'am Sumera and Ma'am Austria, may gusto pa po kayong itanong kay sir?
I have another question.
Ma'am, yes po, ma'am.
Sir, the Marikina Polytechnic academic community recognizes that a newly appointed college president would designate his college officials to help him achieve his plans for the college. What qualifications would you look for in your designees?
Actually, ma'am, if ever that I will be elected as president of the MPC, of course, there will be I will be issuing a holdover capacity memo, no, because it's really very difficult to change immediately the university, the college officials now that we are on the last quarter of the year. But if ever that by assuming that I will be there and effective by January, there will be new set of university officials. Number one, of course, we have to look into the commitment of this university official, the dedication to achieve the targets that we need to achieve, and of course, that university official must also be a visionary, because if the university official is also visionary, same as with the president, everything will go on. Everything will be achieved. And of course, character is the most important thing, because being a leader in a certain area or a certain unit, you must possess a good character, because the rest will follow to you. Because remember that a good leader needs also a good follower, but a good follower also needs a good leader.
Thank you, sir. There is another question from the chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just read, sir. Okay. So what attracted you to apply for the presidency of MPC? This is a question from one of the sectoral representatives in the first public forum.
Okay, so thank you very much, ma'am, for that question. Actually, when I visited Marikina Polytechnic College in 2015 as accreditor, of course, I was amazed with the institution, because I know for a fact, I know the history of MIST, Marikina Institute of Science and Technology, then eventually converted into Marikina Polytechnic College. So I stayed there as your accreditor in that particular program in 2015. Then I think it was in 2016 that there was a search for presidency. Somebody invited me already to apply, but I said no, because I know for a fact that I am not yet ready to be part of Marikina Polytechnic College, considering the fact that I am from the province and Marikina is in the National Capital Region. But with this particular search for presidency, I was encouraged already when it was extended, no, when it was extended for to search for to accept an additional applicant for presidency. So I chose MPC to be my last home before I retire, because I think and I believe that I can make a difference in this institution. Although it is very difficult or very challenging, but there is nothing impossible to that dream if all of us, if ever that I will be get elected as president of MPC, if all of us MPC will be working as a team and as a family, because family that works together stays together. So I am ready now to be part of the Marikina Polytechnic College. Aside from, of course, I have also relatives in Marikina. I have also relatives in the nearby municipality or city like in Cainta. So, and for me, I don't have any problem because I'm still single and I can work 24/7 to address all the concerns and issues of Marikina Polytechnic College. So I think that's my answer to that question, ma'am. Nakamute ka po, ma'am.
Sorry. Thank you very much, sir. There's another question in the chat box. Wait lang po, sir, ha. I'll just open the chat box. In a duration of 4 years, what would you focus on, quality or quantity, in terms of modernization of MPC? Again, in a duration of 4 years, what would you focus on, quality or quantity, in terms of modernization of MPC?
Above all, it should always be the quality, because quality is always part of the criteria in improving the standards of an institution. And if you manage already the quality, of course, quality of program offerings, quality of graduates that we produce by their outstanding performance in the licensure examination for board programs, and of course for the NC2, NC3, and NC4 for those technology programs, and of course producing quality faculty who will develop these students within the jurisdiction of Marikina Polytechnic College. Because particularly in admission of students in board programs, we should do away with accepting more students in a certain board program if the quality will be sacrificed. So leveling quality is one of the most important criterion for us to achieve the SUC level 2, 3, or 4 if we dream of this kind of level.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much po, ma'am.
Ma'am Bersales, Dr. Bersales, can we have this question from the chat box, or there is one question, ma'am, from Dr. Balbarais. Shall we have this question, or we will have it next after the break?
Thank you very much, Professor Caballero. If everybody doesn't mind, I propose that we continue with the open forum. So we can now open the questions from the others. Since we actually have just started, I think not everyone is tired. If
Okay,
that is
okay.
So yes, please. We can start asking the question from the public.
Okay,
and I request you, ma'am, to read. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. How about the screening of the questions, ma'am? The screening of the questions.
Yes. So I will ask the committee members to give go signal to each question that is on the chat box. Do we have a access to the chat box, Ms. Michiru?
Because there are questions are now pouring in, so maybe we need the screening first before I read the questions.
Okay. Please read the first question that you said you will ask, ma'am.
Okay po, ma'am. For the next question, what do you think is the most challenging aspect of the MPC's mandate under RA 9279, and what are your breakthrough goals to overcome this? This is a question from Dr. Wilma Balbaraz.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Under RA 9289, of course, the most challenging part there is for Marikina Polytechnic College to be the center of shoe and leathercraft industry. Because there was already a news, no? There was already an article in the in the internet rather. There was already an article in the internet. I think it was in 2015 or 2016 that Marikina schools will be offering a 4-year course in shoe and leathercraft in this leathercraft, no, pertaining to shoe and leathercraft. But I know for a fact that MPC has no program offering yet for this. So it's really very difficult to develop an innovative program, and in order to comply with what is the mandate of the university, or of the college rather. So it is within the mandate of the college to develop a center for shoe and leathercraft industry. But as I have said, it's really very challenging because we know for a fact that developing a curricula for an innovative program talaga entails different aspects that need to be complied with, because there is no available CMO there. So we have to benchmark with other schools in order to develop this kind of innovative program. So if there is gap kasi, there is no evasion according to Dr. Tirso Ronquillo. So we should innovate. And I think with what I am proposing to offer, a 4-year course for this being offered in the LaSalle US, I think it was offered in LaSalle USA, no? So that particular program, but it is possible for us, that is under fashion design and footwear and accessory, offered in LaSalle College, Montreal. So there is
Sir,
no
thank you very much, sir. We will go to the next question. Okay, thank you, sir. So the next question is again from the chat box. The 5 critical skills a good leader should have are the ability to motivate and encourage others, the ability to communicate clearly and to listen attentively, trustworthiness, ability to think critically, and resiliency. Do you think you have all these qualifications? If yes, recount a specific experience in your life as a leader where these qualities shone through. Ulitin ko po yung tanong. Do you think you have all these qualifications? If yes, recount a specific experience in your life as a leader where these qualities shone through.
Okay, so thank you very much for that question, ma'am. So I've been an administrator of a campus for 17 years because I've been in the university for 24 years or more, but 17 years of which as administrator of a certain campus under 3 different university presidents. So I think with my qualifications under these 5 critical skills, no, so I would not be designated by one president by another president if I don't possess this kind of critical skills, no. With ability to motivate, encourage others. Everybody knows that ako bilang isang administrator po, I have to see to it that I will not compete with my people. I have to see to it that I should work with them. I should push them, particularly on the mandates of the higher education institutions: instruction, research, extension, and production, the last. So I have to push them to conduct more research, to participate in extension, because at the end of the day, the result of their IPCR will be the basis for their promotion. So you have to motivate, do not compete with your people. Another one is ability to communicate clearly and to listen attentively. Yes, of course, being a leader, we should listen to the issues and concerns of our people. We should open our office. We should welcome this kind of ideas, and we should always take into consideration that before we decide, we have to listen first. And that is the power of communication, relaying one issue to another issue in order to come up with a win-win solution. Trustworthiness. Of course, as I have told you po, I should have not been
Sir,
designated.
thank you. Thank you very much. We'll go to the next. Okay. So the next question is, how will you handle conflict when it arises among stakeholders in the college? How will you handle conflict when it arises among stakeholders in the college?
Conflict among stakeholders, and in the first place, we should not create a conflict with our stakeholders, because without our stakeholders, I think our institution will not exist. So in order to resolve that kind of issues, there should always be an open communication with them. There should always be a solution through a win-win solution with them. Discuss the dialogue with them. Conduct a thorough investigation for that matter in order to solve a particular issue. Because sabi ko nga po, at the end of the day, the academic institution should not create a conflict with our stakeholders, because our stakeholders are our partners in development. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Let's go to the next from the chat box. Okay. What makes you more qualified among other aspirants to be the next MPC president? This is a question from Ma'am Sumera, who is also our representative.
So
what makes you more qualified among other aspirants to be the next MPC president, and what makes you what makes you the best among the others?
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that question. Actually, I started my career in CHED supervised institution, the same as with MIST. MIST was a CHED supervised institution then. So I started my career as faculty in Tinambak Polytechnic Institute, same as with MIST. Then eventually during the integration of the CSI, or the CHED supervised institutions, to state colleges and universities, our institution was integrated to a state college. So from a CHED supervised to a state college to a state university. And aside from that, I've been an administrator for 17 years, ma'am, and I work not only as a dean of a college, but a dean of the campus, doing the little president of the campus. So aside from that, I am a graduate also of the first batch of the Philippine Higher Education Career System, or PhilHeX, in 2016, and the past president of the Rotary Club of Goa Partido, and at the same time designated also as back chairman of our university. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, we'll go to the next. Wait lang po, I'm going through the questions. What are your plans for the upliftment of non-teaching employees? This is from the Non-Teaching Employee Association President, Sir Eric Azores. What are your plans for the upliftment of non-teaching employees?
Okay, for the non-teaching employees, although we have just adopted the reclassification of our non-teaching, actually non-teaching has no mode of promotion like NBC 461. They just only rely on reclassification, of course, and then of course creating a plantilla position for a higher creating a plantilla for a higher position, then eventually promote those who are qualified to get promoted, and of course sending them to attend more trainings, capacitate them, attend conferences, and improve their academic qualifications as well for their promotion, of course, under Aura, I think. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Let's go to the next. Mhm. This is shared by our chair, Dr. Brisales. What strategy can you apply or implement to strengthen the motivation of faculty to perform beyond their duties for the benefit of the college? What strategy can you apply or implement to strengthen the motivation of faculty to perform beyond their duties for the benefit of the college?
Thank you very much po for the, for the chair of the search committee for that question. Actually, I have included in my carousel areas plans for faculty development. Then one of which, of course, is to provide them, to incentivize them for the achievements that they have uh, uh, achieved, or for the contributions that they shared to the improvement of Marikina Polytechnic College. Like for example, I included there that they must be incentivized, particularly on research publication. They must be provided, but there should always be a policy on this. They must be deloaded for every research proposal that they have submitted. Then they should be given a minimum load of 18 units for them to be given an opportunity to work on the research and extension mandates. And of course, to send them to more scholarships, send them to trainings and seminars, develop them, develop a pool of experts in the faculty. Because with this kind of character of a leader, I think there is no reason why these people will not be get motivated. Not only because we will be incentivizing them through monetary, but giving them recognition in all their achievements. Kaya nga po meron, I have here Tinta Award for outstanding research and extension implementers. So we should always provide a recognition for every achievement that a faculty or a non-teaching has achieved, for the improvement that contributed to the development and improvement of Marikina Polytechnic College.
Thank you, sir. Now I will be reading a question from the Dean of the Technical Teacher Education. What impact-proven projects can you share with MPC that will be valuable to upgrade its SUC level? Again, what impact-proven projects can you share with MPC that will be valuable to upgrade its SUC level?
As what I have mentioned already, that there are 4 result areas, no, in SUC leveling. No, for every result area, there is a corresponding points here. For example, for KRA, under quality and relevance of instruction, there is a 16 points allocated for this. But under this result area, there are different criteria that need to be followed, that need to be complied with, that need to be achieved. Then, of course, one of which is yung sabi ko nga, we have to increase the enrollment because it pertains to the weighted full-time equivalent of students for the past 3 years. Then we should also involve our students for scholarship. There is no problem with that because we have already the universal access to quality education. Then for key result area 2, which is 14 points for research and research capability and output, we have to develop our faculty to be a researcher. Because research is very important because there is no limit of points with regards to research. So we should ensure that for every faculty has a research. Diba? Then for service to community, we must involve ourselves to be part of the community through conducting trainings, through livelihood trainings, through adapting a barangay, and of course the management of resources, which pertains to faculty development, that we should produce more graduates in the or PhDs vertically aligned. So if we achieve this, I think that is not impossible level up
Thank
the
you, sir.
level.
We'll go to the next question. Okay. So, question again from the chat box shared by uh, Dr. Bersales. Will limited face-to-face classes be prioritized if herd immunity is achieved in the country? Will limited face-to-face classes be prioritized if herd immunity is achieved in the country?
If herd immunity is already achieved in the country, I think for me, I am in favor of that face-to-face, limited face-to-face classes, because I am also a teacher. I know for a fact how difficult for the students to attend to an online class. Although we have an approved policy on this kind of type of delivering instruction, asynchronous or synchronous through flexible learning, but still there are students who cannot attend to the online class because of the internet connectivity issues and of course the load. So if the IATF in the government will allow us already to conduct a limited face-to-face, although there was already an issuance from the Commission on Higher Education that there are programs already allowed to conduct limited face-to-face, and technology and engineering programs are included among this programs that are being allowed already by TED to conduct limited face-to-face. So subject to the compliance of the IATF guidelines, of course.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Another question from the chat box. What's the name of the question? Okay, this is from Professor Francis Aranas. If you become the next president of MPC, how are you going to transform the culture of MPC into harmonious and united as one? If you become the next president of MPC, how are you going to transform the culture of MPC into harmonious and united as one?
So being the president of MPC, if ever that I will be get elected, we should always adhere to the principle of walk by talk. Diba? Walk by talk. So it's always be the president who should always set an example. Because as what I have said before, that's really very difficult to because of different characters of the people. It's really very difficult to come up with a common belief, no, common principle. But somehow it's not it's not difficult for us if we will be working together, because as what I have always keep on saying, I always stand for the acronym, because when I was the president of the Rotary Club of Goa Partido in 2016, our battle cry is always the team. Team stands always for together everyone achieves more. But if we will be working together and properly incentivizing them, giving them, being transparent to them, and of course, a participative governance will be implemented in PC. I think there is no problem of creating a harmonious relationship with these people. I've been through with this. I've been assigned to the different campuses of the university with different kinds of people, with different mind setting. But before I leave that particular campus, I see to it that everything is okay. So it's always always a challenging part to a leader to, of course, sino ba naman ang ayaw na masaya at nagkakaisa ang kanyang mga anak? Pero it should always start from the parents. It should always be the parent who should show the best to them. Be an example to them. Be a leader to them, not a boss. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I think we have the last question. And this is from the chat. And this is from our HR Director, Leticia Perez. How will you reconcile your own plans with a strategic plan that has been crafted prior to your appointment as president if you are chosen? Okay. Again, how will you reconcile your own plans with a strategic plan that has been crafted prior to your appointment as president if you are chosen?
Thank you very much, ma'am. If there is already a strategic plan, in the camp or in the college, I think I should honor that strategic plan because it is the product of the people in Marikina before me. So if ever that I will be get elected, and there are things that need to be inserted, siguro I will submit it to the Academic and Administrative Council for their approval, whether or not this insertion in the strategic plan before submitting it to the Board of Trustees. So if this is okay to them, because at the end of the day, what I will be going to insert in that strategic plan is also for the good of the MPC. Because there are things, no, kasi po, meron naman tayong, may mga bagay na baka hindi nila nakita nung ginawa yung strategic plan at nakita ko. So I think, but I have to ask first to of course, to respect the author or the crafters of that strategic plan of Marikina Polytechnic College. So it would be a great help for the next administration that indeed there is already a strategic plan crafted by the people of MPC.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I guess that goes about all the questions for today. Maraming salamat po, Dr. Arnel B. Milieska, our fourth applicant for the MPC presidency. Okay, and also Sir Nelson, thank you for being the timekeeper. Hindi natin narinig ang boses ni Sir Nelson. Ayan, pero naka-monitor ako sa screen niya. Ayan, thank you, sir.
Thank you po.
Okay, so I guess that's it, no, for today. We will have, unless of course there's an instruction from our chair, we're going to push through with the closing remarks.
Thank you, ma'am. We're okay. Let us proceed.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. So for our closing remarks, we have the officer in charge of the MPC Office of the President. She is also Assessor for Attorney Lily Freda M. Milia.
Hello, ma'am. Not available po si Attorney Milia. Nasa agenda po siya today.
Okay. Sino po, ma'am, ang magka-closing remarks?
Si Ma'am Lisa na lang po.
Yes, I can do it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I have been listening intently to the questions posted by the sectoral representatives. And of course, we listened intently to the vision and plans for MPC provided by Dr. Arnel Milieska. And I'm very pleased that we had active participation from the various participants in this virtual forum. Thank you so much, Dr. Milieska, for your interest in MPC and your vision for how MPC will fly and do its mandate. Thank you to the sectoral representatives who asked really good questions, and for those as well who posted their questions in the chat box. These questions of the committee will actually include as we give a report. These questions and Dr. Milieska's replies will actually be included in the report that we shall be giving to the Board of Trustees of MPC. The next step by the MPC in the search process will be the panel interview, which is a closed session. This panel interview will be done by the MPC with the 4 candidates for the presidency. And we will, of course, as soon as possible, submit a report to the board. So we look forward to a decision by the board soon. Thank you so much, Dr. Milieska. Thank you to the sectoral representatives. Thank you to the various faculty, staff, students, and the stakeholders of MPC. On behalf of Dr. Attorney Lily Milia and the search committee, we thank everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bersales. And I hope we can see each other soon again, without the masks. And thank you very much, Dr. Arnel Milieska. Maraming salamat.
Pwede po ba ako? Thank you. Pwede po ba ako mag-request? Magpa-picture naman tayo.
Ma'am Michilu.
a screenshot. We had a picture taking with the 3 other candidates when we had the face-to-face public forum. We want to have a picture naman with Dr. Milieska.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, thank you. So, Miss Michilu,
Yes, ma'am.
we will follow your instructions.
Okay.
Magsasmile na ba kami?
Okay, ready for the first slide? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, isa pa po. Second slide. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay na po.
Thank you, everyone. Miss Michilu,
Yes, ma'am.
will the search committee stay
Yes, ma'am. Mag-stay po
in this room?
Yes po. Then the admin council and the other participants po, pwede na pong mag-leave.
Okay, pati po ako, ma'am.
Thank you po sa lahat. Thank you.
Maraming salamat
Thank
po.
you.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Salamat, ma'am. Professor Caballero. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
to
Sir
Miss
Milieska.
Elizabeth
Thank you,
Austria.
Chair.
Ma'am, thank you po.